Greetings and welcome to this, your midweek recharge. Pastor Jay here with you once again. And if you do enjoy the recharge and you haven't done so far, be sure to like this comment and be sure to subscribe to the channel. It does help out so much. And let's talk about today, obedience. Oh boy, I know somebody out there not liking that already. But, it's really interesting. 1 Samuel chapter 15 and verse 22 says these words: to obey is better than sacrifice. Okay, what does that actually mean? Well, let's go to the Old Testament. First off, when you would... on Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement, the high priest would go into the Holy of Holies and sacrifice for the sins of the people, because people would sin every year. And so he would go in on Yom Kippur and pour blood of a lamb sacrificed on the mercy seat and thus take away the sin of the people, because they were not obedient. Okay. That's kind of what the thing that we're talking about today. Obedience, to obey, if you will, is better than sacrifice. Well, why? Because if you obey God's commandments, then you don't have to worry about sinning because you're obeying His commandments. God made it pretty clear in, to the people of Israel and to us in this generation what the commandments are. You go and you look at the 10 Commandments. If you followed every one of those 10 Commandments, you would never sin. It's just true. I mean, go look at everything that is in the 10 Commandments. If you obeyed every single one of those 10 Commandments, you would never sin. Just wouldn't, because everything is right there. And so often what we want to do is we don't want to obey God's word. We don't want to obey what God has to say. We want to do what we want to do, right? It reminds me of obedience. It reminds me of the fishermen in the Bible. If you remember when Jesus came to the fishermen, He came to them after they had toiled all night long. They had went all night long. Why do they go at night? I'm not a fisherman. I don't go fishing. But I do know this, as I have studied, fish go to the bottom during the hot part of the day because it's cooler at the bottom of the water. And at nighttime, they come more to the surface. So that's why the fishermen would go at night, because fish were higher up, and then they could take their nets and drag them up and bring in the fish, right? Well, and they knew this, right? Well, Jesus comes in the hottest part of the day, and He says, launch out into the deep and let down your nets for a draught, or for a large catch, if you will. And these are well-seasoned fishermen. They have been doing this for years and years, and they know what they're talking about. Jesus was a carpenter's son. Stepson, if you will. Joseph was not his real dad, but, stepson, if you will. So what happens is, here comes a carpenter's son coming and telling fishermen how to do their job. Now, they had one of two choices. They could sit there and say, you're a carpenter's son, you have no clue what you're talking about. Or they could listen and be obedient. Well, let's be honest. What did they do? They were obedient. Okay? I love what is said. It says, we've toiled all night and we've taken nothing. Meaning the best time of that, basically explaining to the carpenter's son, best time of the night time to catch fish is nighttime. Well, we tried that and we didn't get anything. But I love his response too. He said, nevertheless, at your word, we'll go. And they went out. And when they let down their nets, the fish just came in humongous droves. And when that happened, they started pulling up the fish. And when they started doing that, there was so much of them that it was almost starting to sink the ships. So they called for their fellow shipmates to come help so that they didn't lose their ship, have it capsize and sink. When you get down and you really think about that, what would have happened if they would not have been obedient? Well, they wouldn't have seen the blessing of God. And that's what it comes down to. If you're not obedient, you will never see the blessing of God. How can we be obedient to God? We follow the Ten Commandments. The Ten Commandments are the blueprint to be a Christian that is above reproach. That's the blueprint. It's those 10 commandments. You follow the 10 commandments and you don't ever sway from them. You'll never sin and you'll be blessed. It's just true. So what I'm saying is, remember the words in 1 Samuel chapter 5, or chapter 15, I should say, and verse 22, that says, to obey is better than sacrifice. So that's pretty good. Well, if you have enjoyed this recharge, be sure to give us a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe to the channel. It helps out so much. And until we're with you next time, this is Pastor Jay wishing you a blessed day, and we'll see you next time. Have a good day. Bye.